it was actually a hard decision for sure. I mean, if it was up to me, I would keep doing everything, but I got to be smart with my decisions as well. And I didn't want to do a bad job there and not perform or come super tired to where it's going to put everyone at risk. And I got to consider a little bit of everything to include the team.
Sure.
And so that's why I felt good with the decision I made.
Yeah.
But do I miss it every day? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. I got to admit, I've known of you for a long time. Like, obviously, like, I had heard that you had joined the sheriff's office. I don't know through who or whatever, but here in Joe County, which is at that time, like, I was thinking about trying to get into law enforcement or whatever, but I just, like, never pulled the trigger. So I was always, like, super intrigued by you just because you know, obviously you joined the sheriff's office and you were doing your thing over there. And then funny enough, like, I'm over there doing my sheriff thing and then you stop doing your thing. And so it's kind of just an interesting story. And then, I don't know, I'd seen you around town or whatever and always just wanted to say hi, but I just never knew you or anything like that. So it's just kind of awkward and weird, but, I don't know. We obviously know a lot of mutual people. And so I reached out to Reyes, Christian Reyes, and I was just like, hey, do you think like E-Man would be good on the podcast? And he's like, hell yeah. He's like, I'll send you his number. And so I was just like, perfect. And so, I just thought it would be fun to talk, you know, like I seem to have like this sheriff law enforcement theme going on right now, which is fine. You know, this podcast is really more about just cool people in general. And so, just living in our community. And I just think like who better than, you know, Emmanuel Flores, dude. Like,
I love it, man.
Yeah. I mean, you have like Code 4 now, which is just like a really cool spot. Been there a couple times, you know, recently. And, it's just been really fun to like hang out with the fellas over there. And you just got a good thing going on. And obviously your family is, you know, got a few restaurants here in town and it's good business. So I just think, you know, why not, dude? Let's just chat and see what's up. And
I appreciate it, man. That's freaking awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So, how are things going at Code 4?
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Year one, building.
Yeah.
So you go ahead, you open a business. It's what you dreamed of. You create it into its own entity. That's the best way to say it. And you gave it its own character. You dress it up exactly how you want. What do you want its personality to be, right? And that's where culture is established within the staff and everything else. And it's a fun process, but it's like everything. The first couple of years of business, they can be rough. Yeah. Because you're building it, you're teaching everybody what your business is like and what mentally, or I should say what your vision is. Right. 2, 3, 5 years down the road. Right. So everything you're doing right now, you're building to get to that goal that you have. Yeah. And it's awesome, man. It's awesome. I think that's the part that I enjoy. It's kind of weird because it's the hardest times for any business, but once you get over that, it's so worth it. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go, man. Yeah. One step at a time, and let's keep building it. That's just the way I like thinking. There's struggles always, but that's what's cool. You find the solutions. You become a problem solver. So I've always found that I was pretty good at problem solving. So I'm like, all right, let's get into business and we'll continue to do that. Yeah.
No, it's pretty exciting. Like, I think one of the fun things about me coming back to like the real estate is I kind of get to like rebrand and kind of do some things differently than I was doing before, which I'd imagine with like opening your restaurant's kind of the same thing. Like, it's, you know, like it's your vision, you get to build it. And that's really exciting. I've had a lot of fun doing that with just my real estate stuff. And I can't imagine how fun it would be for a restaurant. Like, I love food service. I just think it's rad. I don't know if you know much about me in general, but I started working in restaurants like when I was in high school. And so I grew up in Carmel, California, and one of my first jobs was working at this place called RG Burger in Carmel, which is like, it stands for Real Good Burger, but like the place was really cool. And I like I was like making milkshakes and bussing tables and doing stuff like that. And then I even like worked on a bunch of different places and even worked in Vegas. Like, I worked at this place called Serendipity, which was on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Tropicana, just right at the corner of Caesar's Palace. And so got to like experience like a super high paced restaurant, and which was, I mean, you're talking about Vegas. So it's like,
it's crazy over there.
It is super crazy. Like, I was working these 10-hour shifts there. Like, I would work 4 10s throughout the week. And so I was like bringing home like $500 or $600 in cash just in like tips throughout the day. Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's just, I mean, it was super fun. Because I mean, as you know, in Vegas, like, it just doesn't stop, right? There's no slow time of the day. Like people come in first thing in the morning. It's like busy all day long because people are hungover. They need food. They're traveling. Like and everybody's on different time zones. So it really doesn't matter. Like it just stays busy all day long.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. And then when my wife and I, we were boyfriend, girlfriend at the time, but we left and we lived in Vegas, and then I worked at a couple of restaurants over there. And then, so like, I just think food service is really cool. And just that whole business in general is just pretty rad. I like it a lot. And when I see a restaurant that's doing cool stuff, I like to give them props, you know, like it's just, yeah. So it's
awesome.
it's neat, you know, so it's exciting. But I had heard that it was like the first year or so was like really tough, especially in the very beginning, because I'm sure there's a lot of costs that come up front. And then obviously it takes a minute for people to like, you know, start walking through the door and all that, right?
Big time.
Yeah. What was that all like?
Yeah. So you start a business, right? Or we'll talk about Code 4. You have the vision, you know where it needs to be at. Mm-hmm. And now you got to make sure everybody's on board. Mm-hmm. If everybody's on board, you have the same vision. They understand your goal, your end goal in the next 3 to 5 years. Then you can start building together. But it's a whole culture thing. In order to have people understand and see that is a whole process.
Yeah.
And really, no matter how much training you do, they have to be willing to adapt to you. Uh-huh. And I mean, really, just moving forward, it just takes time.
Yeah.
You have half the staff members understand it, the other half that are trying to get it. And then you just start making the team yours. Mm-hmm. You just got to take it by the reins and say, this is the way we're going. So that's where the leadership comes in. Yeah. You take it and it's you have the team follow you in the direction that it needs to go. And you just got to be confident with that.
Yeah.
And little by little, you start seeing that progress. And then a year later, I'm seeing the results of it, and everybody's understanding right now what the culture is, what the vibe is, and moving forward, what the big vision is.
Yeah. Do you think that's been your biggest struggle so far, is just trying to get everybody on the same train, like moving in the same direction?
For sure. I think in the beginning, that was the number one struggle. Mm-hmm. It was, all right, let's get on board. This is how we do stuff. Yeah. Obviously, we come from a background of, we've had restaurants for 34 years. Mm-hmm. So I was literally born into it.
Yeah.
And everything I've seen from being a kid was keep it simple. Have good service, that's number one. Have great food, and then have a good atmosphere. Yeah. Dominate those 3 areas and consistently be looking at, oh, hey, do I need to improve this? Do I need to improve that? So on and so forth. And then just keep improving it, man.
Yeah. Well, I think that's been pretty evident. Like, even when I moved up here, it's obviously like Seacoast Flores, for instance, is like right on the main drag, right on 199. So like, we moved up here in 2013, and my wife's aunt lives out in the Jerome Prairie area. And so like even the first time that we came to Grants Pass, you like drive right by it, right? Because you're on 199 or whatever. And I just remember seeing it and just being like, oh, that looks cool or whatever. And then we go to eat there, and it's like you walk into the place. This was before the big remodel, and it was still a good looking spot, you know, and it's just always been super consistent. The food's always good. You know what you're getting, you know, and then obviously the service is great, and then the place looks amazing. So, which is just really cool. So, that's neat, dude. I'm super pumped for you. I know where the name Code 4 comes from, but tell me about like how you came up with that name and like why you chose Code 4.
That's a good one. Yeah. I get asked that a lot, right? A lot of people, they don't understand what Code 4 is, and they're like, well, what is Code 4? Where does it come from? Oh, it's a cop term. Well, the name came actually from the briefing table. Okay. So we had just purchased, formerly known as Herbs, the restaurant. And basically I brought it up. Hey, we just purchased Herbs, and we're debating on changing the name or keeping it. Uh-huh. So during that, I asked the guys at the briefing table, what do you guys think? Yeah. And we're all coming up with all these different names. And Code 4 hit. I was like, all right, if I'm having a good time, if I'm drinking a good brew, I'm Code 4. Yeah. Right. I'm like, I'm all good. I'm chilling, and everything's under control. So that kind of stuck, and here we are now. Yeah, no, it's Code good. 4.
Yeah, I mean, Code 4 is that term in law enforcement, and it's pretty universal across most agencies. Is like Code 4 is the term for everything's good. You know, like we're good to go. You know, and like I know you guys use different codes. Though Joe County uses different codes. Like I think a code for a warrant is like Code 5 for you guys. Is that right? Yeah. For us, it's Code 12. Or like if a car's stolen, it's Code 12 or things like that. So it's the little codes are different, but like Code 4 is pretty universal. like code 1, 2, 3, and 4, or pretty much universal through, law enforcement in general. So, when did you get started? When did you join the sheriff's office?
2020.
2020?
Mm-hmm.
That's a crazy time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember being at academy with all masked up.
Yeah.
And some of those masks that, you got custom ones. I was like, I can't breathe in these.
Yeah, terrible.
It was definitely a different experience from what a lot of people experience at academy. So,
sure.
I mean, I take that as okay, I experienced something different.
Yeah.
But I still got through it, so
yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah. Why did you choose to go to law enforcement like in the first place? Well,
good question.
Yeah.
Good question. So it was always a dream for me. And it hit a point where I didn't think I was going to join anymore. And I remember just one day thinking, hey, what if? So I went ahead, called one of my buddies that was already a patrol deputy there. Mm-hmm. He gave me he took me on a ride along. And I remember thinking, you get paid to do this? Yeah. You get paid to go out, driving a patrol car, and do good things for people.
Yeah, and mess with criminals.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you're there to clean up the streets, and the reality is, I saw how he approached everybody, and I thought it was awesome. We ended up going to a few emergencies that day, and there was some stuff where I was like, dang, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. But I knew that I was able to do that. Yeah. I was able to perform to that level, and I'm like, well, if given a chance, then I'm gonna do the best of my abilities to do it. And sure enough, a little bit of time goes by, and I put my application in, and then I get an email. You've been selected. And I was like, oh, gosh, man, this is awesome. Yeah. And I remember when I got that email, I was actually managing one of the restaurants that I'm a partner of. Uh-huh. And I was working the floor as well. And I had to go to the back. I was so excited. Uh-huh. So right away, I was like, all right, let's go. Yeah. There's no turning back now. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's very similar to my story, too. Like, do you know Jesse Ainsworth?
Yeah,
he's patrol lieutenant at Jackson County now, and he lived down the street from my wife's aunt, and that's how I got to know him. And I don't even know how long ago it was now, but he invited me on a ride along, and so I went and did that, and we did some like wild stuff. Like one of the deputies got into a fight with a bum like under the railroad tracks, like near the Big X in Medford, and so we come screaming code 3 out of the sheriff's office, and we're doing like 100 on Crater Lake Avenue or Crater Lake Highway, and I'm like, damn, dude, this is crazy. Like, do that, and then they had some like crazy hostage situation call like later in the day where we were screaming down I-5 to try and get to Gold Hill. And I just remember thinking to myself, I'm like, at the end of the day, I did the full 12-hour shift, and at the end of the day, I was like, man, dude, I'm exhausted, but that was so much fun. And like ever since then, I was like hooked, and it was probably years went by where I just like kept putting it off, and then every time you drive by a cop car, you're thinking about it. And I was like, my YouTube feed was littered with it. And finally, it's funny. Like, I put an application in with Joe County the day before the George Floyd thing happened in 2020. Like, there was just like this switch in my head in 2020 where it's just like, I have to like try and do this. And I put in an application with Joe County, like I said, the day before the George Floyd thing happened. Went through the ORPAT, went through the written test or whatever. And then I got a call from the sheriff's office, like, hey, we want to put you through to the panel interview or whatever. And I like told my wife about it, and like my wife pretty much squashed it. It's like, no, we're not doing this. Like, and I was already like very successful in real estate and all that sorts of stuff. So it was kind of hard. But then just years go by, a couple years go by, and it's just like you can't put it off.
Correct.
And like one of my buddies told me, he's like, if you don't, like, you're gonna regret it. So at least try, Yeah. And then, I don't know, Ainsworth hit me up one day and, hey, we're going to open it up for entry-level guys. And, so I put in for it and had to do the thing and ended up getting accepted. And there we go,
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, but I remember thinking the same thing. But I had to not dismantle my team, but I had to, like, try and, like, I'm sure you did the same thing at the restaurant. You got to, like, try and figure it out, So you're making sacrifices, and I'm sure people get it. I'm sure your dad was just like, what are you doing?
Literally, man. Yeah. Literally. He was stoked for me for sure.
Yeah.
But there's definitely that side of him that was like, dude, like, what's going to happen here?
Right.
Are you going to throw all this away? Are you going to continue to do both? Are you going to focus on one? And I don't know. I mean, I was to the point where I was willing to just sacrifice everything to get on there to follow the dream.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, like, otherwise you'd never know, right? You think about it your whole life, right?
Well, that's the problem. I didn't want to be like that.
Yeah.
I've heard it too many times, and obviously like I've experienced stuff where I was like, I should have done this, I should have done that, and this time I was like, nope, I'm gonna go all the way, and we'll see where life takes me from here.
Yeah.
But I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I feel the same way, man. It was something that had to get done, you know, and my wife put up with it for as long as she did. And then obviously like my situation changed pretty quick. How long were you with the sheriff's office before?
So from 2020 to 2025.
Oh, so you did 5 years. Yeah. That's crazy. See, I only made it 3, but it's just, I don't know. It's, I don't know if you like talked to Reyes about it or heard about it or whatever, but you start to realize like pretty quick, like what law enforcement's really like, like obviously like the things that we have to go through when you're a cop is terrible. In Jackson County, I mean, I don't know if they were doing this at the time in Joe County, but we had, full 12-hour shifts. So I was working through the first year and a half or so, to almost 2 years, I was working 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., which is just rough. And I had like convinced myself that, hey, working in law enforcement, like I'll work my 3 days and have my 4 days off.
Right.
And I'll like have all this extra time to like do stuff. And it's like, that is not the case at all. Right. Cause you work those 3 days and it's like the hardest work you've ever had, cause you're out there mentally and physically like super stressed all the time. And then you try to and then you're working nights. So you're trying to like adjust to your family schedule. I know you got young kids too. And so you're trying to like adjust to their life. And then so by the time you even get yourself right, you're back to work again.
Yep.
And so, and I know that like in Joe County, you guys weren't working until 6 a.m. at least, until recently, I think. But, but it's hard, especially I'm still really good friends with Tanner Sherrow, and I'm sure you worked with Sherrow quite a bit. But he says like Joe County's like super crazy compared to Jackson County. And I think that that's like a big misconception that people have too. I want to get onto that too, but you just kind of realize that like the work that you're doing, like a lot of the calls that you're going to, like 90% of them are complete BS. Like there's no reason for you to even be there in the first place. It's just adults that can't adult, and so you're doing stuff like that. And then obviously like a lot of the people that you're taking to jail, they're just getting quick booked or they're there for the weekend and then they get a court date.
Yep.
Yeah. So like eludes, for instance, are like one of my biggest pet peeve. Like somebody runs from you, you chase them. They're a danger to the public, obviously, because they're driving like an asshole.
Right.
Right. And they're trying to get away from the police, but yet you go to lodge them and they're like, no, they're a quick book because they're not a dangerous criminal. Okay. So you're going to give that person a court date for them to show up and be held accountable for their crimes, but they just ran from the police halfway across the county. It's just like, what are we doing here? Like this is crazy. And then meanwhile, my wife's pregnant at home with our third kid, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can continue to do this. Like it was just, I'm sure your experience is probably pretty similar, right? Yeah. No,
definitely. And speaking with or talking to a lot of the guys, I think we all feel pretty similar with that, where you're there in the front line, you're experiencing all these things. Mm-hmm. You're the one that if they're going to do anything to anybody, it's probably going to be you. And you're trying to stop it so that they don't harm the general public. Right. That's your goal.
Right.
And and I mean, there is times that it will get you down. You go ahead and you do your job as you're supposed to. And sometimes the consequences aren't there and it can get frustrating, or, sometimes you do feel like you have more than enough evidence to go ahead and send to the DA's office for it. And, the consequences aren't there and it's out of your control. Yeah. What can you do? You got to continue to do your job. But it does create a frustration. I mean, a level of frustration for sure.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, it's just, and it becomes hard too when you're risking your life, right?
That's the biggest thing.
And then these people aren't being held accountable for this stuff. That was the hard part for me to like grasp with my wife, especially when she got pregnant too. It was just like, I mean, I have 2 kids already, so it wasn't like I wasn't thinking of them before, but like having this third one kind of like opened my eyes a little bit about like where I want to go with my family and like how much time I want to spend with them. And it's just like, I don't know if I want to continue to do this, but I don't know. It's, I made my decision for them. So And it's good. I miss the fellas, and I miss, the good stuff, like chasing cars and pointing guns at people, at very deserving people is it's a gas. I don't know. It sounds kind of crazy to say, but it's
But I think once you're in it and you experience it, I mean, it's easy to understand that.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I briefly brought up how I think Josephine County is a little crazier than Jackson County. I'd be curious, and maybe I'm curious about your perspective on it, but maybe there's more crime being committed in Jackson County just because there's more people. But I'd say per capita, I'd say there's more wild shit that happens in Joe County than in Jackson County. Like, I'm just going to use this as an example. The sheriff's office has not been involved in one OIS, officer involved shooting, the entire time that I was there. I think their last one was in 2020 when Deputy Prince got shot in the chest on a traffic stop. Fortunately, it hit him in the plate. He's good to go. But how many OISs has like Joe County been in that time? It's kind of crazy. No, like we just had one for GPPD just last week. The dude on Midland or whatever, and then they shot at that lady on the bridge like several months back or whatever when she pointed a gun at them. Like it's kind of crazy to think to me like all these things are happening over here, and like meanwhile like when I was at the sheriff's office, like I think Medford maybe had one or two, Eagle Point had one, and then I think Ashland got shot at once, but it wasn't like they didn't like shoot back. It was just like so far away or whatever. But it's I don't know. I just think that there's more crazy shit happening in our county than there is in Jackson County. Would you agree?
You know what? That's a good way to put it. But I mean, what I would definitely say, it gets wild out there.
Sure.
And maybe it has to do with a little bit of everything. I mean, even staffing levels could contribute to that.
Sure.
When you're out there, you're doing stuff alone and things turn right away.
Right.
I mean, they can turn the wrong way quick. You need to be ready to go.
Yeah.
So if you wake up and you're not willing to put yourself out there, then just don't do it. You're going to put everybody at risk.
Yeah.
So your mentality has to be there that, hey, I'm here. This is what I do. And you got to be willing to put yourself out there, but know that if things go south, you got to respond quick.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get hurt and you're not going to go back to your family. And that's a big thing.
Yeah. No, it's definitely like, I don't think it's something that Jackson County takes lightly. It's just kind of interesting to see like what happens like over the course of time. And I think staffing levels probably has a lot to do with it. Like something I've told people, like in Josephine County, there's the sheriff's office and there's Grants Pass Police Department and then there's OSP. That's it, right? GPPD doesn't really go outside city limits very much unless something serious is going on. In Jackson County, there's the sheriff's office, which up until now was super well funded, well staffed, and all those sorts of things. And then you have Medford Police Department, which is one of the biggest police departments in the state. Mm-hmm. And then you have Eagle Point, Phoenix, Talent, Rogue River, Ashland, OSP, Central Point. You have all these different agencies. And so the police presence in that county in general is crazy, which allows the sheriff's office to be super proactive and these other agencies to be super proactive, stop cars, get into cars, make it difficult for criminals to do criminal things. And everything I've heard about Joe County, at least, is that you guys are bouncing from call to call to call all day long, because there's a lot of stuff going on, obviously, and people need help. And then, I mean, you guys are maybe don't have a whole lot of time to do any of that, like, extra proactive stuff. When you do have time, I'm sure there's some of that being done, but at the same time, like, it's kind of crazy. So the difference is now.
It can be like that.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. But now, I mean, it seems like the sheriff's office they've got some funding now and they're hiring and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm super excited to see what they're capable of. So
sure, same, man. Cool. I mean, I definitely remember you start your shift and the board is huge. Everybody on day shift had already been handling calls all day, and you come in for night shift and you're like, all right, well, let's get after it. I got a call in Williams. I got a call in Cave Junction. I got another call in the north. And you're just trying to do everything. You're going to one call while, you're handling another call by phone. And that's your whole shift. As soon as you clear the board, now how can we be proactive? Let's go do some area checks. Let's go do some traffic stops. There's all these different elements that you try and fill in or things that you try and fill in one shift. But there's shifts that the whole shift you're just handling the board.
Yeah.
But I mean, all the guys there, they're awesome, man. I mean, they from the start they're getting after it, mm-hmm. and that's kind of the beauty behind it, that we were all on the same page, and we're just trying to knock out that board so that we can go ahead and do some stuff that we should be doing as well, which is being proactive.
Yeah. Because it does, I mean, it does show that when the proactive stuff, it does help like reduce crime. And
big time.
I mean, if you stop a car and it's full of, you know, a couple people with warrants or maybe a couple people who are on probation or whatever, and they don't have licenses or whatever, maybe they're out to up, you know, it's 2:00 in the morning and they're up to no good. You know, if you're towing that car and stopping that car and getting into their business, you're making it difficult for them to do whatever it is that they're doing.
Right.
You know, not to say that they're out, you know, maybe just going out for some ice cream or something, but it's probably not the case, you know. But it's, I don't know. I just think that kind of stuff is just good policing in general. But yeah, I don't know, dude. It's, I do miss that stuff. A lot of stuff I don't miss, you know. I'm sure we kind of chatted a little bit about some of the things that you've experienced when you were there, and it's just super hard. I'm sure it's even more hard when you got little kids of your own and you know, and a wife to go back to and all that kind of stuff. So it's just, it's tough, dude. But I don't know. I'm excited for you. I think the Code 4 thing is just awesome. You know, I just think it's super cool that you're back doing it, and you and I seem to have similar stories.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, facts, man. I've always thought that too. Yeah. I mean, I'd seen you around at the Chamber of Commerce meetings and same, pretty much same vibe where it was like, all right, this guy's he's young, he's doing big stuff.
I ain't young anymore, dude. I turned 40 last week, so
you know what, man? I'm feeling it now, but you know, we're just like-minded people where you just want to get after it.
Yeah.
You know, you have dreams, you get after it, no matter what, and that's I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah. You talked a lot about your vision with Code 4, and we're talking about dreams and things like that. Like, where do you see it going, and like, where do you want to go? Like, you obviously have a vision and you have goals and things you want to accomplish. Like, tell me about that. Like, I want to know more.
Yeah, man, for sure. With Code 4, it really rooted from, I wish we had this in Grants Pass. I wish we had this and this and that. People want a place to go. They want a place to go have fun. We have great places already, but there is an element that was missing from what a lot of the general public wanted as well.
Sure.
So we created this one space where you have a little bit of everything. Everything from brunch that caters to one crowd, to the Taphouse that caters to a whole different crowd, and then you have the event space. So the event space, you have private events to late night events, and then you have food trucks. So there's always something going on, and it's super exciting. So it really gives the community a place where they can go and either chill, they can go and have some fun, or go get some bomb pancakes.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah.
Right? So you have a little bit of everything going on under one roof, which is really cool. It also kind of feels like 3 businesses going on at once.
Yeah.
But I like the challenge.
Yeah.
So it works out.
And you still work the floor a lot too, and like get out there and do the thing. I think that is like a crucial step to be just being a good leader, is just getting out there with your team and doing the thing. Like, I see your dad doing it at the restaurant all the time. You know, he's out there running the floor, helping the hostesses and all that kind of stuff, sit people, and just making sure people are doing their thing and having a good experience, you know, and it's cool. Super cool. So, yeah, I'm obviously Ray has had his like going away party over there, and you know, we've had a couple of like sheriff's office like get-togethers over there, which is really cool. And then I had breakfast over there with a longtime friend that I hadn't seen in a long time the other day, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a cool spot.
Thank you, man.
So yeah, and the location's awesome too. So it's just, there's really nothing over there like on that side of town.
Well, that's why I had to be on the south side of town.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, there's a north side of town had a Taphouse, brewery Taphouse, right? And then we knew that middle downtown had another area, and even before a lot of these other places came along, I mean, it was already a vision that we had, and we knew we had to do it on the south side of town. There was something missing over there, and we're like, it's missing a Taphouse.
Yeah, well, it's working, dude. It's pretty.
Took a couple years, but you know what?
Yeah,
it worked out, man.
Yeah, interesting. I'm intrigued by your whole family dynamic, and like, obviously, you grew up in the restaurant business, like, you know, with your dad. How did all that, like, when did your dad, you said 34 years ago he started a restaurant here in Grants Pass?
Yep.
Was that his first restaurant he ever started, or did he have something somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. First restaurant here. My parents had the opportunity to come and partner up with this other guy that was from Washington, where they were at that moment. And they didn't really think about it. They're like, well, if there's an opportunity, we're going to chase it. Yeah. And they ended up coming down and partnering up. That fell through, and they ended up opening their own spot, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that's crazy. So there's Casa Flores, and then there's the one downtown, which used to be what called the Taqueria, right?
Yeah, Taqueria Mexico. That's still the same name, OG name.
Yeah.
Misconception, because Taqueria really means like a taco spot. But you go in there and it's like fine dining in a lot of ways. Yeah. And you have like an elevated bar. I mean, it's a full-on steakhouse. You have your sushi. You have your traditional Mexican plates as well.
Yeah.
But it's such a different concept, especially for Southern Oregon, that we like being different in that way.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and bring something that's going to be unique. And it's a little, I call it more of like the hole in the wall. But of course, you walk in and you're like, wow, this is crazy.
It's super surprising. Yeah, it catches you off guard too. But yeah, it's so good. And then you got Casa Express across the way. And you had your little food truck there too, which is at your spot now. Yeah, it's just super cool, dude. I just love it. Like growing up with your dad, like did you guys always like talk business? Like when did he start like getting you into that kind of stuff? Like,
I was young, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from sleeping in the booths when I was little, to working the dish pit as I started getting a little older. I mean, 11, 12 years old, and it's like, all right, work ethic. That's all they cared about. It's have some type of work ethic. And I turned 13. I started busting some tables, and then I started moving up to server at 18. Became a manager at 20, because that's when I came back from college. And then from there, it was pretty much management. All right, do you want to be a part of this? And I'm like, well, yeah. That's what I went to college for. I'm like, let's do it, man. And so they presented me with the opportunity to partner up with the Casa Expresses. Yeah. And from there, Code 4 came years later. Yeah. But I was always managing all the restaurants, and even when I was doing law enforcement, I was still managing the rest of the restaurants, doing schedules, handling caterings, and I mean the list goes on and on and on, man. Yeah. But it was trying to have balance between law enforcement, restaurants, the family life, and it was just an ongoing cycle, man.
Yeah. How did you, because like one of the things that I wanted to do when I got into law enforcement is still kind of like do a little bit of real estate business on the side. And I did, but it wasn't like nearly as much. Like traditionally I do like 25, 30 transactions like every single year. But like once I got into law enforcement, it was just like, I felt like it was really hard to balance that stuff. And then I'm also still trying to spend a bunch of time with my family. And so like, obviously my business tapered off a lot. And at that point it's just me, like there's really isn't anything else. Like, how did you balance all that stuff? Cause
that's hard, man. It's hard. It comes down to what the overall goal is. I mean, that I couldn't stop because of it. I knew that my parents still needed some help. And even though I was away doing something else, I was still a partner, so I still had to fulfill my commitment. Yeah. And it was long days. There's no doubt about that. Something was going to have to be sacrificed here and there. Yeah. And it was literally how my day would be waking up early, taking the kids to school. After that would be going to the restaurants, getting all my administrative stuff done. Yeah. And then getting ready for the shift. Yeah. So, and then on my days off from the SO, there was really no time off over here.
Yeah, I bet.
It was, okay, we're going to spend some time with the kids. Now we're going to go to the restaurant, get all that done. And again, it was just a cycle, man. Yeah. And so days off were far in between.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. Is your wife involved in the restaurant at all?
So. Yeah.
You're mostly just being a mom, taking care of kids and doing all that kind of stuff.
Correct.
Super important.
But that's the thing where if I'm having to do all these things, I mean, we got to think about the kids, right? Yeah. And what better than them being with their mom? Yeah. So.
No, I agree. My wife is, I mean, she has her own little business or whatever that she does some stuff on the side, but mostly she's just stay-at-home mom, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And she loves it, dude. She's made to be a mom, So it's just I don't want anybody else raising my kids.
Exactly, man.
So I think that's awesome for you. Damn, dude, that's crazy. What a shift, dude. And so like, what was like the final straw for you to like leave law enforcement and like go back? Was it acquiring herbs? And because it sounded like you had already acquired herbs, and then it was just like, was it just like too busy? You wanted to focus your time on that, or like did something happen at the sheriff's office where you're just like, I just can't do this anymore, or what?
No, I mean, really, I was busy as it was, and creating a new restaurant that was that as big as it is.
Yeah.
And we were thinking already about doing all these different types of events and so on and so forth. It was going to be too much, and I don't want to half-ass anything here or there.
Right.
If I'm going to do something, I gotta do it to the best of my capabilities, but I gotta do a good job.
Right.
And I knew that I was going to fall off at one point with how busy I was going to be with the new location. And if it was going to be such a big investment over here, then I needed to take care of that baby.
Yeah.
Because eventually it's gonna feed everybody, and the opportunities open up with opening the business. And obviously, it's like everything. You open something to succeed. Right. If something fails, then shoot, you're not gonna open it, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's the risk. You don't know. But to minimize that risk even more, I need to be fully invested over here.
Yeah.
So it was actually a hard decision for sure. I mean, if it was up to me, I would keep doing everything, but I got to be smart with my decisions as well. And I didn't want to do a bad job there and not perform or come super tired to where it's going to put everyone at risk. And I got to consider a little bit of everything to include the team.
Sure.
And so that's why I felt good with the decision I made.
Yeah.
But do I miss it every day? Hell yeah.
Yeah. I bet, dude. Every time you see a car ripping down the road, lights and sirens. And
you go on Facebook, you're like, what are they doing? Where are they going? Turn on the scanner or something, right? Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I talked to a couple of the fellas today, just having random conversations, just seeing what's going on and still talking shit and doing all that kind of stuff too, which is that's my favorite part, dude. It's was talking all the trash like with all the fellas, like it's just all the trash talking is just insane. Like it's you don't experience that anywhere else other than like on a sports team, in law enforcement, or like I'm sure the fire department's the same kind of way, but or like in the military. Like it's just it's a different kind of team, but it's all love, and it's all the trash talking and stuff. Yep. And I'll share this story just because I think it's funny. Maybe people think it's not funny, but it was like my second to last day at the sheriff's office, and they were talking about the Savannah Bananas were up in Eugene.
Yep.
And they were talking, one of the guys was talking about how he went up there and was like watching the game or whatever, and like people were complaining. I was like, oh man, I would never go to that. The traffic is just terrible. Like that's the worst part about going to Duck games is the traffic and this and that. And this one guy was like, he's like, no man, it was like great because we got lucky, kind of unlucky, but like we had a handicap pass because my mom just recently blew her back out. And like literally with like while he was in the middle of his sentence, like one of the other deputies was just like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that, my bad." Like he was talking about just the mom jokes, like he obviously like blew his mom's back out or whatever. So it was just like that kind of stuff is just it's obnoxious and it's like crazy, but it's just I don't know. Dude, I was on the floor, like I couldn't contain my laughter, and it's like those are the things that I miss, just like being with the fellas out doing the stuff, But you have like. You also have those cool stories. I'm sure you have a couple, and I'd love to hear them. But one of my favorites was I was doing DUI enforcement. It was like Reyes was my corporal at the time, and so I was just out, and it was like one of those nights where just felt like everything was hitting. Like every car you stop is gold.
Right.
I had already had a DUI earlier in the shift, and so I had already lodged that dude, and then I like. Left the jail. I hit up one of our guys, and I'm like, "Hey, let's go prowl around South Medford and see what we can find." And so we like go down, and the first car I stop, dude's got a warrant, so I go and take him to jail, and then I come back out, and I'm like, trying to hit Valdovinos up was, the guy working in South County. You know Edgar? Yeah. And so I hit up Valdo, and I'm like, "Valdo, where you at?" And he's just like, "Oh, I'm over here, blah blah blah." And so we're like, "Let's go stop some cars," and he's like, "Down, let's go." And so I'm on Garfield and Kings Highway, and I stop at the stop sign at Garfield and Kings Highway, and there's like this shitty PT Cruisers coming the other direction, and it just like runs straight through the stop sign, and I'm like, that's a Dewey, like I'm like hell yeah,
PC all day right there.
I was like, there's my PC, and I was like, that's a Dewey, and so I like flip around, get up behind this car, and hit my lights, and she like pulls off on this little side road, and I hop out. I'm like walking up to the door, and like as soon as I get words out of my mouth, "Hey, this is Deputy Bifano," blah, she just boom takes off like. And as I'm standing at the window, and I'm like, and I remember like turning around and like running in my car and just thinking to myself, "Oh, hell yeah, like let's go!" Like I was just super pumped. And so, fortunately, she was like in this little like roundabout neighborhood. There's really nowhere else for her to get out. So I like get in my car and like rip up, and I'm like chasing her around, and she like pops back out, and she goes to like turn back out on Garfield, and she almost T-bones this red pickup, and so I terminated the pursuit. Actually, Reyes terminated me. I said, "Oh, she almost T-boned this car or whatever." Reyes is like, "Terminate." So he hits me, terminates me real quick. And so I turn off my lights and siren, and she's like ripping down Garfield going towards 99 and I-5, and like down there, if you're familiar with South Medford, it's like where Five Guys is, Chipotle, the South Medford, Walmart, Panda Express, KFC's right there. And so she goes ripping through 99 and Garfield, blows right through the red light, fortunately doesn't hit anybody. And then as she's like turning the corner by Garfield and Center Drive, which is right there in front of KFC, she like wrecks out into the median. And so I like call it on the radio, "Hey, she just wrecked out, blah, blah, blah." And so I turn my lights back on and like rip up there. And as I'm like pulling up behind her, she's like climbing out of the passenger seat and she starts running. And she's all of about like 5'4", 5'5", and like maybe 200 plus pounds. And she starts running. I jump out. I'm like, "Hey, stop! You're under arrest!" And she just keeps running. And so I just chase her down, and she doesn't get very far, obviously, but she almost gets schmucked by a car coming in the opposite direction because she's like runs across the road. She almost gets hit by a car, and I just chase her down, and I just tackle her big ass behind the Panda Express, which is like this gravel parking lot. And I remember like obviously like throwing her cuffs, get her up off the ground, and like I'm pulling her back to the car, and I like throw her in my car, and like Reyes like pulls up. And he just like gives me that look, like hell yeah, like Reyes, Reyes likes to party, and so it's just fun, dude. You miss those times,
Oh, absolutely, man.
Foot pursuits and all that kind of stuff. It's just a good time.
Becomes memories now.
Yeah, you got any good ones in Joe County? You could probably got a favorite one,
man. There's a lot.
You got a favorite though. I mean,
that's a hard one. There's literally a lot, man.
I'm sure. 5 years, you go through a lot. I mean,
literally, man. I mean,
I didn't even make it 3 years, and like August 1st would have been 1 year, would have been 3 years. But I mean, you spend the first 9-10 months like academy, FTEP, all that kind of stuff. So it's like it wasn't even nearly 2 years,
right?
So I'm sure you got quite a few.
Yeah, no, I mean, one of my craziest one was we were actually at the office and we were getting ready for our quote unquote lunch, right? What is it like at midnight, 1 a.m.
Right.
And we're finally like, okay, it's been super busy. We're going to go ahead and go back to the office, eat real quick. And then we get a flock alert of a stolen vehicle.
Hell yeah.
We're like, oh, okay, where's it heading? So now we're trying to kind of see direction of travel and all that. And it's heading towards, New Hope. So we go ahead, we swamp the areas. I think we're only like 4 on that night.
Yeah.
I was, I had somebody in the car with me as well. And he was a brand new guy. So we're just like, all right, well, let's go see what we find.
Yeah.
And so we all swamped the area to go on one end of New Hope. The other two, myself and one other one, kind of came to like where New Hope starts. And we're swamping the area and we're just checking it out. There's nothing here. Another hit fish hatchery.
Okay.
So we're like, we're not that far. Let's go ahead and zoom over there real quick. I go ahead and I'm like, I don't see anything from New Hope to fish hatchery. And I'm like, right around Shaney Creek, fish hatchery, and I still don't see anything. And one of my other guys gets on the radio. He's like, I'm behind the stolen vehicle, and there's another vehicle in front of it. So it ended up being 2 stolen vehicles following each other.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And then, so the 2 guys that were on the top side of New Hope originally were now behind these other 2 stolen vehicles. So one other guy goes in front of those cars, tries to block him in. They go right around him, and I'm ahead of them still. Yeah. So I'm like, now they're coming to me. So I go ahead and I try to block one. It was actually Shaney Creek. Went ahead, try and block it, thinking, hey, they're gonna go straight. And I knew OSP was ahead with the spike strips ready to go.
Sure.
They're about 1.5 miles, 2 miles ahead. So we just got to keep pushing them that way. Well, I mean, game on at this point. Yeah. There's a full-on elude. There's just, I mean, for them, it was like no one's going to stop us. So they ended up turning almost into my vehicle onto Shaney Creek and ended up going up. And now it's a full-on chase with, 3 of us following them.
Away from OSP at this
away
point.
from OSP. So at this point, we're like, well, I guess we're going to go up in the mountains. Yeah. That's the next step. And, I mean, I have a Tahoe. The other 2 had the new Explorer. So I knew that I had more ground clearance than them. Yeah. So if anything, hey,
it's you.
I had to go, and hopefully these guys can make it up. Yeah. And, I mean, last thing you want is to be by yourself with 2 stolen vehicles. But, I mean, you're thinking like on the spot, what am I going to do? What's going to happen if this happens? I'm going to do this. And one of the cars ends up sliding out on the mud. So one of the Explorers ended up pinning it in against a tree. Well, It was a big old truck. It was like I think it was like if I remember, it was like an F-250.
Okay.
He backs into the Explorer, and the hitch attaches to the car, right?
Yeah.
And now he's trying to get away, and he's pulling the Explorer up the mountain
Yes.
while there's a trainee in the Explorer.
Driving it?
No, he's in the passenger seat. And he's like, what do I do?
Shit in his pants.
Literally.
Yeah.
And so now we're all out of our vehicles because we think we're going to challenge this guy. Mm-hmm. And he's taking off again. So I tell my guy, I'm like, hey, get back in the car. We run back to the car. We get in, and we're thinking we're going to start chasing him. And he ends up sliding out. I think it's because of the weight of the Explorer. And he's almost going down an embankment.
Yeah.
But he high-centered, which was probably the best thing that could have happened.
Right.
So now the new guy is kind of like stuck in the vehicle, like, okay, what do I do? There's a rock wall on my side. I can't really open my door. And this guy's just taking me.
Yeah.
So we're challenging this guy. He's not really listening to commands. And we finally like started identifying it's a guy that's well known for doing those types of crimes.
Sure.
And I think he was already wanted with a warrant at that point.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. So regardless, I mean, we have somebody that's trying to run away, and it's doing all this mayhem after that.
Yeah.
So he's not really complying. So we go ahead, break the window, drag him out. He starts rolling down the mountain.
Yeah.
And completely on purpose. So I'm like, this dude's really trying to get away.
Yeah.
And it's pitch black out there. I sprint down. I'm trying to catch him. He tries getting up, and he's looking back. I keep seeing like little glimpses. And it's only me, and I'm waiting for my guys to come down. But I'm so focused on we got to get this guy ASAP.
Yeah.
And one of the times he looks back and he reaches for something. And right away, I mean, all your training kicks in.
Yeah.
You're like,
You see that 45. And
You're like,
yeah.
there's something there. Mm-hmm. So I go ahead and I tackle him, and I just start doing what I had to do to make sure that I can control the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, during that, he didn't want to give up, and I ended up breaking my hand in that fight.
Oh, no.
And I mean, it was a whole thing. But we ended up getting one of the vehicles and one of the guys, so that was good.
Yeah. And
I think that was definitely, even though it's one of the best memories in the way where there's so much that happened, it was also, I feel like, a little change in the career, especially with like the family. Mm-hmm. So that happened. There's no cell service over there. It's already, I mean, it's late in the night. I should have been off. And we go ahead and I tried calling home. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be home later.
Yeah.
No service. So now I call from one of the supervisor's phone, and the call won't go through. But they ended up searching what number was calling them because I didn't block it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, all right, well, I just got to let the family know that I'm going to be home late.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, there's a call from the undersheriff. What's going on?
Yeah. So they think.
And so they're thinking I'm like, something happened to me that
hurt or dead or whatever.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think about that. So I ended up going to the hospital, getting checked, all these things. And they're like, all right, I think at first it was like, I think they saw the fracture. And I was like, it's something small. Whatever. I got home, and I'm like, I'm just going to shower. I'm going to go to bed. Right? Yeah. It was just another day at work. And good memories when it comes to that and how the guys just came together, man. It was freaking phenomenal.
Isn't that the best? Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, you realize that everybody really has your back. Yeah. And you're all doing it for the same reason. And obviously your goal is to clean up the streets in that way where you don't want these crimes happening over and over and over to innocent people. Yeah. Because it sucks. They work so hard for that vehicle just for somebody to take it from them. Yeah. And I mean, that's what helps me sleep at night for sure. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I was doing something good for good people. But yeah, man, I mean, that was definitely a turning point. And ever since then, I mean, I kind of obviously took a little bit of a break, went on light duty while I got better. And then I started going back on the road, and it was just calls at night. It was like as I was off, hey, are you home? Yeah, I'm home. Okay, good. Yeah. But I could tell that the worry was now there. That,
was your parents?
Huh?
Your parents?
So
your
literally,
wife,
like everybody. I would get calls from my mom consistently.
Oh, crazy!
I was getting home from the lady consistently as well. They were like, "Hey, are you home?" Yeah, I'm home. But it was definitely a turning point with the family.
Yes,
I could tell that they were a lot more worried and everything. But of course, I want to keep on doing it because what I love.
Yeah, no, for sure, it's hard.
But
yeah,
things get crazy, man, out of nowhere, and as exciting as it gets, it can turn south real quick. And you know, obviously, the biggest fear is just not saying goodnight to your kids, man.
Yeah. I think that was kind of a big turning point for me too. We started chasing a car. Jacksonville PD kicked it off, and I was like in West Medford at the time, and so I was one of the first ones to get into it. And we chased it through Central Point or whatever, and it almost he was going like north on Table Rock, and Maynard was coming the opposite direction trying to set up some spikes or whatever, and he had like other civilian cars behind him, and so he like flicked on his lights to warn them, like, hey, they're coming. And the suspect saw him, and it, like, I was watching this from 2 cars back, so the suspect literally changed his course of travel once he saw it was a police car and like went straight for him. Fortunately, Maynard was paying attention. He like ripped off the side of the road, but the dude was doing nearly 100 miles an hour. Like if he would have went out head on with him, it would have killed him. And so we continue. It goes northbound on Table Rock past Costco, and it turns onto East Gregory, which is like this little side road if you're familiar, but it's a side road that has 90-degree corners. Oh. And so I'm like thinking to myself, like, I was further back because I blocked Table Rock and Biddle at this point. So I was like second, third car in the pursuit at that point, but I blocked the intersection for everyone else that was behind us. And so me and Maynard ended up being last. Yeah. And so it turns on to East Gregory. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm going to rip up Table Rock, turn on to Antelope, and try to get ahead of this thing because East Gregory pops out on Agate, which is like connects up to Antelope, like up the roadways. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I'm going to get ahead of this thing and try to get spikes on it or something. And I like take off. And I've told this story a bunch of times, but I take off and I like look down at my speedometer, and I'm driving one of our Explorers, like one of our traffic Explorers at the time. And it was a loaner car. And so like a couple days prior, I had spun out making a sharp turn trying to get to a hot call because the traction control was broken on that car. So I had literally like spun out in the road. Fortunately, there was really nobody around, and it was like, it happened. I just got back on, continued about my way. But then I also know that the brakes don't work very well on that car. Like you get bad roto wash at like high speeds.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like thinking like I got to get ahead of this thing. And I look down at my speedometer, I'm doing 127, and I'm just like, oh shit. And I know that I have to like turn on the Antelope. And I just remember thinking to myself, like at that point, like, what are you doing, dude? This is wild. Like even this dude that we're chasing, like we're going to catch him. He's going to be there for 3 days. Maybe it was like a Friday. So like he's going to get released on Monday at best. He might get quick booked tonight. And here I am. If I turn my car over and I'm just trying to get ahead of this pursuit, I'm not even like in it.
Right.
Like if I turn my car over at this speed, like, and my wife was 6 months pregnant at the time. And I'm just like, dude, this is nuts, dude. Yeah. I was like, this can't continue. Yeah. Like, this is wild. And they ended up, one of our guys ended up pitting it out on East Gregory or whatever. And so they got it stopped. And so it wouldn't have even mattered for me to get up ahead of it anyway. And the reason that dude was running is he had like some FTA warrant out of California for some like traffic violations or something. That was why he was running. Yeah. So an FTA warrant, like
a lot of the times it's what it is though. It's stuff that doesn't even matter. If you run, it's going to be so much worse.
Right.
Just stop. You're probably going to get a cite date.
Yeah, probably.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And if you're driving suspended or whatever, that's going to be way lower than running away, hurting somebody.
Yeah.
And catching more charges.
Right.
It's not worth it, man.
Yeah. People don't think like that though.
No.
They're high on drugs or intoxicated or whatever, or maybe they're not.
I think the biggest thing is they think they can get away.
Yeah, they think
that's the problem.
Yeah.
But when you have multiple people, and I think we had a pretty high success rate of catching the ones that try to get away.
Sure.
But our communication was on point. I mean, we knew what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's the same with you guys. If they're going one way, the other guy's going to go the other way or whatever it might be. But we understand the county. We understand a lot of the times how they're thinking.
Yeah.
And, okay, they could probably do this. More probable that they're probably going to do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's on point.
Yeah. No, it's good. Shiro always said that you guys were like, your communication during pursuits was just like off the charts. I mean, you guys get into a lot of them. So it was like the communication though is like just amazing. Sometimes like, I don't think we get into as many pursuits as you guys did. So it was like, sometimes it could be chaotic depending on who was driving or whatever. Yeah. But there's been some good ones, but we've had some pretty good success rates too. And then also like, what's unfortunate for law enforcement is we have rules, and we have policies, and obviously the public's safety can take into consideration. And obviously they don't care about any of that. So they have a little bit of a leg up in that regard, but we got radios and I got friends. Dude.
Right. That's the way to put it though. I mean, they get to the point where they don't have anything to lose.
Right.
While we do. We have everything to lose.
Yeah.
And we always got to be thinking about the liability. That's a huge part, both for yourself, the agency. Obviously, you don't want anybody else to get hurt.
Yeah.
So you're thinking about all these things while they're only focusing on getting away.
Right.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. And it definitely comes with time.
Sure.
I think that was one of my biggest fears was, can I do all that? Can I multitask like that?
Sure.
And then you just start doing it every single day, and you're like, okay, we got this, man.
You sure as can. Yeah, and I don't think people understand like how hard pursuits are. Like, not only are you driving at a super high rate of speed and trying to take all those things into consideration, like your own safety, the safety of other drivers, liability for the sheriff's office, you have to consider all those things. And then on top of that, while you're driving, you got to communicate, right? And it's not just like you're just out there ripping, driving, like not talking, because you got to let your people know what you're doing,
right.
And then I'm sure Joe County's policy is the same way. Like, we have to, like, you have to say what your speeds are, what the road conditions are, what the traffic conditions are. And you're trying to give updates, direction of travel, all those things. And you're probably trying to do it like every 10 to 15 seconds. You right? Because a lot of things can change.
Things change like that.
They change like this. So you're on it. You gotta announce driving behavior over the road. Like what that person's doing. Hey, they're traveling wrong lane travel. They just crossed over the double yellow into traffic. Right. Blah blah blah. You have to they just blew a stop sign or they just blew a red light. Because you have to put that stuff on the radio. Because if you don't, and they do that, and you didn't say anything, like, you're in a lot of shit. So there's all those things. It's a lot to do, and it's hard.
No, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And again, I mean, it's your training has to kick in, and that's what it is. Like you're saying, you have to be able to identify and get that information out to everybody. Mm-hmm. If your car that you're chasing by yourself and tell everybody is catching up has 5 occupants. That's probably something that should be known, because if something happens, they stop. I mean, you're 1 guy versus 5, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know if they're just going to say, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
If something's more is going to happen. So there's all these different things that you have to think about. You have to always think about the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of information you're giving out at once, and a lot of things you're thinking about.
Yeah, no doubt. No, it's fun stuff, dude. I'll miss all those times.
No, some facts, man. Facts.
I'll miss all those times.
Same.
But I don't know, man. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing right now. Like, the real estate stuff is, I mean, I've been doing it since I got my license in 2015. So it's been a good while. I've been doing that. And so I'm really enjoying doing some different things and trying to revamp some of the stuff that I was doing before, trying to do it a little better. I'm sure that's like you were talking about. I think probably even before we got on camera, it's just like you're constantly looking like what you're doing, how you can do it differently, how you can do it better. And I just think that's a big portion of just, I don't know, being a human being, really, being a father and a husband and business owner. And just, it's one of my first operational principle for the Bifano home team, and just kind of how I operate in general, is just, it's a constant, never ending improvement. Just always looking at like how you can do things better. Yeah. It's cool to kind of hear you talk about the restaurant and things like that, and just what you guys are doing. So
dude, you got to be a step above, man.
Yeah.
But that's what it comes down to, though. It's, don't settle for where you got right now. Mm-hmm. You got to continue that growth pattern. Go, 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 go. When you're tired, get up. You have a team that relies on you. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that alone pushes you, or it should push you.
Yeah.
But the reality is, man, when you're driven like that, there's nothing that gets in your way that you can't. That's going to kind of set you off that course. I mean, you have your goal. You're going to do everything possible to get there.
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, obviously, leaving something awesome for the family, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so many aspects, man. But I mean, being first generation here as well, you want to make people proud, of course. Mm-hmm. But I got to the point where I'm like, I'm making other people proud, and I got to do my own thing. Mm-hmm. So it's a building thing as well, and it's a combination of things. But it's freaking awesome, man. There's so much motivation behind me, but that motivation definitely turned into something where it helps me grow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's giving me the consistency I need. And I'm determined to freaking do something in this life. We got one life, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw that away.
Yeah. It's awesome. And I mean, you're trying to set an example for your kids, I'm sure.
Hands down, man.
I'm sure your dad feels the same way when he was doing his thing. He wanted to do the same thing for you and your family. And, your mom and dad have created an awesome business here in Grants Pass, and
thank you, man.
Created a lot of opportunities for people, not only you, but all the people that work for them,
yeah.
And all the people that come to the restaurant and get to enjoy it. I mean, it's a cool thing, you get to share something you love with a ton of people, and it's a cool thing to like bring people into a space, especially like when I think of Code 4, it's just, you talked about those 3 different spaces, or those 3 different opportunities for people to get together and enjoy each other's company. And I just think as human beings, like, we just need that, and what better thing to do than break bread with somebody?
Hands down.
Grab a couple drinks or whatever and have a meal. It's just like, I don't know. It's just a really cool thing. I've always loved, like I said, I've always loved the food service business for that. And I just think it's rad. You and your family are doing some really cool stuff. And I just think it's neat, dude.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that,
yeah.
man.
And then you're off, you were doing the sheriff thing, making a difference in our community in a lot of different ways. I just think it's really neat, dude. I just think it's really neat. So,
dude, when you love something, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You find yourself, I don't know if this happened to you, but you find yourself in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm like, all right, so business is working out. I'm finding myself in the right place at the right time to help people as well.
Yeah.
True, dude. I was doing both things I absolutely love.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
no, it's cool.
Nothing but blessed, man.
Yeah, it's neat. And I think that's like, obviously it's, God's will and all that sorts of stuff, but it's at the same time, like you build that, you're putting yourself in the right place at the right time by all the hard work that you're doing and all the, you get up every day and crush it and you get after it and you make your own success,
Facts.
It's, we were talking about operational principles and it just reminded me of this. The 10th one for me is just operate with intentionality. Everything that you do should have purpose. So you leave nothing to chance. Like, you're not just showing up every day just being like, oh man, I hope it works out. Like you got a plan, you're out there trying to get after it and make it work, and you're doing it with intentionality because, you're not just going to let things just play out the way that the universe is going to let them play out. Like you're going to do your thing, right? You're going to leave nothing to chance. You're going to drive your own success. And I just think that that's awesome. And I just, I don't know, dude, I appreciate you sitting down and chatting with me about it.
It's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, you kind of remind me of myself a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
In the way where it's like, okay, we're doing fine over here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go chase the dream. We come back to build something bigger and better. And but it's just the mentality, man.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to get after it.
Yeah.
Dude, and I wake up every day and I'm freaking hungry. I'm like, let's go, man.
Yeah.
What did I do yesterday? What can I do better today? And again, always thinking about the family, the team, everything in mind. And it's freaking awesome, man. That's how it should be.
Yeah, it is how it should be. No, I dig it, dude. And you're exactly right. It's this, if it wasn't real estate, it'd be something else.
Yeah.
It's just, it'd be the same thing for you. If it wasn't restaurants, it'd be something else. If it wasn't sheriff's office, you'd be something else. It's just, it's an innate desire to just be successful and just go out there and do good things for people and be a leader and have a good time,
It's exactly what it is, man.
Yeah. So it's cool, dude. That's cool. I'm gonna put a wrap on it, dude. I like the way that ended.
Hey, sounds good, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Adios, folks.